Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The decks and the dice, that information will be below. Other than that, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below as well. Same email. Thank you very much for tuning in, and let's go ahead and get into your choice. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? Ooh, your card at the bottom. This card at the bottom for you is great. It's the Devil card. That's the Capricorn card, which talks about boundaries and no tolerance for people messing with those boundaries, which does not have to be a bad thing. So for Capricorn, having that card there, good things. That might see, you got a lot of good things coming here. There's certain cards that are good for Capricorn. For example, this card, because it's the Capricorn card. Sometimes the Hanged Man is very good for certain signs. If you want to keep something and hold it there until you're ready to move it, if the Hanged Man is going to your benefit, that can be a great thing too. You do have the Hanged Man coming up, but that might be an advantage for you. Got to get a little deeper into it to find out if that's where it's really going. Okay, so you got the Ace of Pentacles in the past. How is that coming in for you? So the Ace of Pentacles, it depends on how you were coming into it. This did not start the situation. This might have been the planning stage. So like a lot of times what I use for the Ace of Pentacles as an example is planting a seed, and then you have to wait for it to grow and then become the strong plant and then start bearing fruit and blah, 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 blah. It takes some time. Sometimes I use the oak tree as an example because it takes years to get up to its full potential, its full strength, right? For you, this could be, we could use a gardening analogy for this too, but this is more like when this plant started showing up, it might have been the fall part of the year, or like for where I am, when fall comes in, it's cold. You don't really plant stuff, at least not outside. Maybe you, or well, if you're going to plant like certain flowers and certain things like tulips, you plant them in, I have planted them in the fall actually, and then they come up the next time or the next spring. So it could be something like that, to where you started to plan, you started deciding what you wanted, but it wasn't going to be the part where you actually went out and bought the stuff. This is the type, like I see this in the gardening sense where this is where I'm going to have it. This is the type of things I want to grow. These are you know, how I'm going to manage it. So when the Ace of Pentacles showed up for you, you were building the plan, but you're like, this is not going to be a little thing. This is like a major thing, and I am doing the research I need now to decide where and when and how and what. There was a lot of deep pieces to this. I know that you guys planned quite particularly anyway, but this was a little bit more. This is kind of like, you know, starting a business and like, I need to know more than most people know. I need to know like how this works and how, you know, the economy affects this and how, you know, where am I going to get the business from and all the other good stuff. Not just how I'm doing what I'm doing, but I need to know these other little pieces. You put a lot into this is what I'm getting. That's how this feels, whatever this is. With that Ace of Pentacles, am I overdoing it? Like, because I feel like I was learning from other people's mistakes. It might have been one of those things where I'm like, that's the type of business or that's the type of thing I want to do. And I'm seeing people having a hard time. And I feel like I've been asking questions like, well, what did you do here? And how did you do that? And how did that come about? And like, yeah, a lot of introspection. You got the Page of Pentacles and you've got the Hermit card, absorbing information, trying to critique it and then like understanding why other people have failed, you might have done a lot of work in that. It's kind of like, why did that person fail, and why did this one fail, and why did that not fit? Why did that not work? You did add in like how people succeeded, but you definitely put a lot of research in like, why did they fail? Because if I can find out why they failed, I can avoid that, hopefully, or at least I can find out if I can avoid that before I even get into this situation. This situation is gearing up to be very much in your court, on your terms. As solid as this plan can be, this is as solid as it's ever going to be. Okay, you did a lot of the work. I don't know, do we need to say this again? A lot of intellectual activity going on here. You're not just looking at how other people have succeeded. That's not going to work here. You're looking at all the other things that people don't like to look at. All the things that other people don't like to look at, that's what you're looking at. I want to know why this. I want to know why that. Is there anything else with this? Because I feel like I already talked to this. I feel like I already talked about that. No, I think we're good. Okay. They give me the Five of Swords. It's kind of like, yeah, you've said enough. You can let it go. Okay. Your moment is approaching. It seems like it's on schedule. You're starting it the way you want to start it, not the way other people have. Okay. So whatever this is, you may have decided to start this at a lower level because you want to see how it actually plays out. And you're like, before I invest too much, I'm going to start this at a lower level. So instead of like starting a garden with a whole acre's worth of work, you're like, you know what? I'm going to do enough so I have like, 10 plants of this, 10 plants of that, 10 plants of this. And like they're grouped in a certain way. You're like, I'm going to do this at a smaller level so I can easily keep control of this, and I can look closer to see how things are working out. I can get a little bit more information. I feel like you're starting this at a lower level, which makes sense. I feel like this is smart. It is kind of like, I'm not looking to make, things blow out of the water the first year. I have like a 5, maybe 10-year plan to where I'm going to get up there to where I'm doing exactly what I want, the way I want, but it just looks too easy. Some of this looks maybe a little too easy. It's kind of like starting it at a lower level so I can see how this actually works. And you're going into this on your terms the way you want to. I don't feel like that's really like shocking, but there's also some nerves with this. You are taking some purposeful risks. Purposeful risks? Okay, so I don't believe some of the stuff people have told me. So I'm going to challenge it, and I'm going to take some risks, kind of like risks. I didn't say it like that. I don't know why. Because I feel like I said it like a snake, like risks. Like, I'm trying to sniff something out here. Something just doesn't make sense to me. And it's kind of like, it's kind of like buying a lottery ticket. And it's kind of like, I want to know how it really plays out. I want to play it myself. And whatever it is, I'm already going into it like I'm not expecting anything back but the information. If something more comes back, great. But the reason I'm involved is because I want to feel what it's like to be a part of the game. I want to play the game myself. I want to feel that. And when I'm putting into it, not expecting to get out, I'm going into it for the experience. I need this experience. Purposeful risk. I have seen this happen where Capricorn will get involved in something and they're looking to see how other people react because they want to learn more about other people. That's very strategic and very smart, but it really kind of shocked me. This one person I used to know, they got involved in something and then they later told me it wasn't about getting this. It wasn't about getting that. It was about, I needed to know how these people act in these situations. I wanted to see what they were really like, and this is how I found out. They didn't know why I was there. They thought I was here for this, or they thought I was here for that. That's not why I was there. I needed to see what they were doing, and I needed to know truthfully who they were. and how they handled these things. Very strategic. It was just, I was very impressed with this. It was like really, they kind of shocked me. I didn't see that coming. And I was like, that's very smart. It's about, you're defining what the value is, what you want from it. That's the thing. Other people may not know it. I feel like that's very interesting with Capricorn. I've learned that over the years with some Capricorns. Other people may think you're doing things for random reasons. You're not. The fact that they don't understand is quite fine. And they may think it's off the wall, but you know exactly why you're there and what you're doing. And that's fine. They don't need to know. They don't need to know that. Whatever you're getting involved in here, again, purposeful risks, I seem to feel like that's just naturally happening. Maybe this is a suggestion for some of you. I don't know. When it comes into this next phase, and this is always, I swear, this is always true for Capricorn. Always, always, always. And if I sound ridiculous, then I do. You don't show up to give away anything. You show up for a reason. You're going to get your value. Other people may not understand what you're looking for. They don't need to, because you are definitely finding what you're looking for. The same person, was it the same person or somebody else? I don't remember. I just remember, I don't even think this person was a Capricorn. I don't remember how this worked out, but I'm seeing it play out, so I'm going to give the same example. Somebody showed up to help somebody build something. This person I'm seeing as they wanted to know if they were watching what this person did. They helped them. They weren't telling this person what to do. They were helping them do it. And then they went back and they checked with other people. Does this make sense? Does that make sense? Is this how you would do that? Is that how this would be done? They wanted to know that they could trust this person to tell when they really knew and when they really didn't, and that they could depend on what they were doing. I don't know if this was a long time ago, and I keep overlaying the same person, so I don't know if it was the same person or not, quite frankly. So I feel like, didn't I just explain this? Am I explaining it a different way? You're finding out the truth. It's more about the character. It's more about the character, something about that. And you want people to not think you're looking, so you can see the truth. Okay. This, whatever you find, I keep getting it's going to be good but not good enough. And for some reason you might be like, it's good but it's not good enough, and you're going to have this urge to walk away from it, which is fine. There's another option here. Give this a little more thought. And they're saying, give this another go. If you don't want to, you're not gonna. That's just how it is. I respect that. Totally respect that. The reason that you might want to give this another go is because there's more value here. This situation is not going to show its total value in one go. They're saying, if you really want to see your value, give it another go. Again, I keep getting it's good. It just seems to be not good enough the first time around, which is respectable. That's your business. There's something more here. Because I feel like whatever you're finding here, the potential is more than you see. This might be something that needs a little direction that you might be able to link up with very well. What number is that? 9 of Cups. And the High Priestess, but it's on its side, which means it comes in like this, which means it's got some good aspects, got some not so good aspects. There's stress here going into this. I don't see this being a risk to you, but I feel like whatever you're finding, there's potential for this to go even better. With you lending in some direction, this could benefit you more, and you could benefit this situation. It could be a one hand washes the other situation. I just feel like this is reminding me of like Managing the Manager, which I'm not really the biggest fan of. But it's almost like whoever you're dealing with, they're supposed to be in control of the situation, but they could use some better organization. and you might be the person that actually points that out and actually helps them do that. Capricorn doesn't have a lot of tolerance for people wasting their time. So this might be one of those things where you'll show them how to do that if they are willing to work with you on it. And it would be quite apparent if they try to break those rules that that's not going to fly. I don't know. Some people need that. I don't know what to say. It's a little stressful at first, but this might be something where they're saying if you give this another go and maybe go into this a little differently, where they let you kind of set up the structure. They may know the technical part, but you might be very good with the structure. And I'm getting Capricorn. I know Capricorn. There's a lot of them in my family. They do not like it when you go outside the lines, especially if they've gone out of their way to help you, and you don't adhere to the rules that were set. It does not go well. It does not go well. I'm just saying. It does not go well. This is one of those things where I feel like it's a learning curve. Is it going to be perfect the first time around? I don't think you're expecting it to. It's more about the respect and kind of like if they kind of step outside the lines, they get the hint and then they kind of make good on that, whatever that means for you. You're not expecting it to be perfect. I feel like Capricorn is extremely realistic. Is it going to be perfect the first time around? No. But if it's addressed properly and there's adequate improvement, it's doable. You have the chance for some really good success. These two cards together right here, there's going to be a pause. If there's going to be more, there's possibility for more here. There will be a pause. There will be very in-depth conversations, long conversations. Seems like you're more in control of that than they are. But there's a possibility for more here. There is. Ace of Wands shows up. You could create more with this if you give this a second time around. If you do, there's a very strong loyalty and a lot of prosperity here. Like literally, that's the word, prosperity I'm getting. Long-term loyalty. I don't think it's lost on whoever or whatever you're dealing with that it's a gift that you're willing to be a part of this. And they don't take it lightly, and they don't think it's something to be played with. If you're there, they know that they need to honor that, and they need to give that value back. You're not going to show up. You're not going to be there. This isn't going to go well unless they give that value back that you're looking for. Definitely a one hand washes the other. Capricorn is fair. I feel like Capricorn is very fair about that. You do that for me, I do this for you. 10 pieces to you, 10 pieces to me. I put in 10 pieces of effort, you give me 10 pieces worth of value back for that effort. And I feel like they also know, all right, you gave me 10 pieces, I'm going to give you 15 back because I want to up this a little bit more. And you're like, well, that's a little bit too much. Let's do it this way. And it's kind of like, I feel like there's going to be this learning curve where I feel like they're going to try to up the ante a little bit. And you're like, well, wait. Before we do that, let's talk about terms. You want to up the ante. I only have time to do 10 pieces worth of effort. So I don't think this is going to work. If you want to give me 15, you're just giving me 15. I only have time to do 10. You may want more, but I'm not going to be able to give you more. So I feel like there might be one of those learning curves there too. Just because they want to make it more intense, you're like, wait. Before we change the rules here, let's talk about what you want and what I'm willing to do. That's the only other like itchy, scratchy part I see of that, where they might try to up the ante a little bit before you're ready, and you might be like, oh, whoa, let's slow down. Hold on. I like you want to give me more, but I know what you're expecting. Before we get into this little clash of interest, let's talk about that. Anything else? All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.